This one's about Regina Ward, talking more about the FBI findings.
Church pastor John Paul Miller is out on bond tonight after he was arrested on a third-degree assault charge. Myrtle Beach police arrested Miller last night after a confrontation with a Justice for Mica protester outside the Market Common Church.
That we know.
Now, this comes nearly a week after Miller's home was searched by the FBI and 2 days after people were seen removing furniture from Solid Rock Church. Thank you for joining us at 11. I'm Edward Moody. Trish is off tonight. News 13's Adriana Lawrence tells us what
Edward Moody.
Miller's lawyers had to say.
That dude looks like the guy. Remember the guy that did on YouTube? He was like super popular like 20 years ago when YouTube first started off. It was like the chocolate rain. You know what I'm talking about? That dude looks exactly like that guy.
And how some believe this could impact Miller if he's ever faces federal criminal charges.
Stalking and harassment have been two words said many times now related to John Paul Miller.
Entertainment and educational purposes only, TikTok overlords.
Solid Rock and his late wife, Mica, who died by suicide in April. Protesters have been
Lord have mercy.
outside Solid Rock for months, chanting justice for Mica, including Wednesday right before the confrontation.
They've driven the church to death, and they're trying to drive him to death.
Oh, damn. This is it right here. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, you can't do that.
This between John Paul Miller and one protester following him. The protester, Sandra Carone, told us Miller turned around, tapped the brim of her hat twice with his phone, and walked away. We spoke with Carone right after it happened.
I knew that I was within my right to defend myself because I did feel like my safety was at risk. But I did not know if I was going to get in trouble if I did.
At Thursday's bond hearing, Carone asked for a no-contact order, but the judge denied it. He did decide, though, to grant Miller a $776 bond. Miller's attorney, Russell Long, gave us a copy of
$776? That's an awfully strange amount.
The arrest warrant, which states the video doesn't appear to show the assault, but one witness says Miller did in fact hit her hat twice. Long says because of the protest, the church was forced to close.
Somebody's got to help John Paul Miller and the members of this church.
What?
You what?
Stop these people from harassing and stalking him the way they do.
Long says the city of Myrtle Beach has refused to address the, quote, harassment and stalking. He says the only solution he's given Miller is to hide.
If you feel like you're victimized and you call the police over and over and the police refuse to do anything for you, what can you do?
This is the exact question.
Don't put yourself in those kind of positions.
Regina Ward, the attorney for Mica's family, has been asking for months after Mica filed multiple stalking and harassment police reports involving John Paul. Ward says the U.S. Attorney General's office asked her months ago to turn over any documents related to her client, Mica. She says those documents are what helped the FBI get a search warrant to search John Paul's home recently. Ward says this charge may only be a misdemeanor, but it could impact whether John Paul gets bond or not if he ever faces federal criminal charges.
But at the end of the day, it sure is going to help this case going forward, and he might as well get used to it. We're not going away. We're not going away until he goes away.
I thought you said it was over and to leave him alone and don't go to the protests and anything. Remember, they came out of the damn settlement thing, and she literally said, stop going to the protests. The family doesn't want you to go protest anymore. What changed, y'all? I'm telling you, we got Mandela affected. If that didn't actually happen and now she's just saying something totally different, that's a Mandela effect for sure.
Ward says the FBI is asking victims to come forward as they continue with their investigation. She says you can reach out to the FBI or her office. We've also reached out to John Paul, who asked us to never contact him again. He's expected in court on December 10th.